also plays for Bayern Munich. And there's Neymar, Brazilian maestro, Brazilian captain, plays for Barcelona. Paul Pogba of France and Juventus. Ivan Rakitic, Croatian midfielder who also plays for Barcelona. Arjen Robben, the player, mercurial player on his day, but prone to glass ankles, plays for Bayern Munich. James Rodriguez of Colombia and Real Madrid. Alexis Sanchez, the player who is making every Arsenal Hearts fan sing at the moment. Luis Suarez, the enigmatic and mercurial Uruguayan who also plays for Barcelona. Yaya Toure, four-time African Player of the Year, Manchester City midfielder, and Arturo Vidal, the combative Chilean, formerly of Juventus, who now plays for Bayern Munich.
Okay, so that's the 23-man shortlist. Cosmos, what are your possible winners? Final three.
Final three. At least we know the final two, even if one is injured. We know that there's a Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi will be there. I am thinking Neymar.
Not Suarez?
Well, Neymar or Luis Suarez, one of those two would be the third best. But then this is, I want to take this from another angle. And of course, my winner is going to be Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay, let's just pause you there. So you have anything different from that?
No, not really. Not really. I expect those two.
Cristiano,
those
Messi.
two, I won't mention them. Everybody knows who those two are.
The third one.
Probably might also be Neymar or Luis Suarez as well.
What's the problem? No, Yaya Toure.
No, Yaya Toure. Yaya Toure has struggled for form and fitness after the World Cup. He hasn't really been the dominant, unstoppable midfield juggernaut that he was. We don't see those driving, clear road runs from midfield up onto the end of the box that we used to see in the past. He's lost a yard or two of pace. Hasn't really been his year. Hasn't really been his year. But the fact that he got nominated or mentioned is good for him, good for Africa as well.
I'm sad for Africa because we just have one player. Africa is big. We have some of the best footballers on earth. Maybe we do not have the structures or anything.
Aubameyang would probably have.
That was what I was thinking too, but just one African here. I'm not even thinking Nigeria. I mean, when was the last time in Nigeria was even in the top 50 of the best players of the world? I'm not thinking. I'm thinking Africa. It's very, very sad, and that shows that there's so much going on, and we should make things right.
Okay, it's not just for the players, the coaches. They also have, let's say, this year's award, Massimiliano Allegri of Italy, and Juve is also on the list. I think he's done big things for himself also. There's Carlo Ancelotti on that list. Just looking through, of course, Diego Simeone on that list. Arsene Wenger, Arsenal, Gunners. Arsene Wenger on that list, and Luis Enrique Martinez is also on that list. Pep Guardiola. There's just some names you just can't miss. Laurent Blanc, France and PSG. There's also the Chilean national team coach. Should be there. Jorge Sampaoli. He should be on that.
Particularly brilliant. So here's the list. Massimiliano Allegri of Italy and Juventus. He led Juventus to the final of the UEFA Champions League last season. Carlo Ancelotti of Italy and Real Madrid. Laurent Blanc of France and Paris Saint-Germain. Unai Emery, coach of Sevilla, who led them to the UEFA Europa League title. Pep Guardiola of Spain and Bayern Munich. Luis Enrique Martinez of Barcelona. Jose Mourinho, the loud-mouthed Iberian from Portugal, current coach of Chelsea. Jorge Sampaoli of the Argentine, who actually coaches the Chilean national team. Brilliant tactician, very, very passionate young man. He looks like a tiny firecracker on the sidelines, the way he urges his team on. Diego Simeone of Argentina and Atletico Madrid, and Arsene Wenger of France and Arsenal. I'm sure. I don't know what kind of consolation that is for Arsenal fans, because right now Arsenal fans are split around the middle. There are those who believe that Wenger can do no wrong, and there are those who believe that he has done years.
Start packing. Okay,
but the question is,
who will win?
If Wenger goes, who can be a possible fit for Arsenal?
Yeah.
Till then.
It's a question.
Till then.
I think that's the problem. Arsenal are loath to lose him. He wouldn't have lasted this long at Real Madrid. Real Madrid, if you don't win the title, you are gone. Yes, we've seen coaches who won the UEFA Champions League and were sacked.
But he has also done a lot of development at the club.
Yes,
so you should consider that.
Yes,
and that's why it's been difficult for the board to even tell him to go. We'll also see some quick updates from the UEFA Champions League. If we have that, I tell you, it's been a rush in Germany, because that game between Bayer Leverkusen and an AS Roma, what's going on? It's now 4-4.
4-4.
It's 4-4, that game.
There's something about the game. The first 2 goals scored by Bayer Leverkusen by Javier Hernandez and Chicharito, that makes him the second player from the CONCACAF region to score 10 goals in the UEFA Champions League. The first players to do that was Dwight York of Manchester United, Trinidad and Tobago at the time. So he has 11 goals. Wow, this is a rush.
So it's still live. Games about to end in some centers. But Barca keeping their lead.
Leading 2-0.
Wow. Michael Cosmos had to shout
yes, I had to say that.
Arsenal leading 2-0. Yeah. Okay, so the Gunners are looking safe. But okay, the games are ending at the different centers at the moment. But, Cosmos, why are you rejoicing? Look at the scoreline. Olympiacos winning at Dinamo Zagreb.
That's huge. Olympiacos actually lost their first game, but lost their first game against Bayern Munich, won against Arsenal, and they are winning away.
6 points for them if they win.
6 points for them, and that is huge. That means that they just have to consolidate. They know that they are second on the table, and they just have to consolidate the remaining matches. They are going to be playing against Bayern Munich, and probably they will lose that, and the other ones they would just make sure they consolidate and qualify for the second round.
So it's over at the different centers for the UEFA Champions League, except the game between Dinamo Zagreb and Olympiacos in the closing stages. So congratulations to fans of Arsenal, but there's still a lot of work to be done. So full-time results everywhere now. That's it right there on your screen. We'll still talk about the UEFA Champions League, but before we do that, let's go to Zurich, where today FIFA Executive Committee, they had an extraordinary meeting. And yes, it's needed because of all that is happening in FIFA, and some decisions were taken. We'll talk about it. We'll let you see them. But at this stage, Tunde, for FIFA, what is it all about at this stage?
It's damage limitation, trying to salvage already battered image. But here it is, the decisions. The Executive Committee confirmed 26th of February 2016 as the date for elective elections into the Extraordinary Congress and the presidential elections. The committee also insists that candidacies of persons who are subject to a provisional or definitive ban from taking part in any football-related activity will not be processed by the Electoral Committee. What that means is that if you have some kind of smear against your name, for the likes of Platini, you cannot run. Acting President Issa Hayatou has assumed the position of acting chairman of the FIFA Emergency Committee. Spain's Angel Maria Villar